In web filtering, decryption is really important. It's key if you want to be compliant with the Department for Education standards, and there's various reasons for that. It might sound a little bit scary and technical, and you may even have people tell you that decryption is a bad thing. But this video is to let you know why that's not the case and why it's really important for schools and will really help you. So we're going to have a quick look at how to understand decryption, know why you might want to use it, have some examples, a bit of a myth buster, and make sure that you understand all you need to as a safeguarding lead so that you can have informed conversations with your technical teams. This video, if you're watching it on YouTube, is also available on the page safefiltering.lgfl.net, where you can see it next to some infographics that you'll see on the screen here. These might be useful to download and share with colleagues, for example. In a nutshell, if you've not got decryption, you can't block or allow individual pages. You can do it for websites, the whole site with thousands of pages, but not individual ones. And the same applies for reporting. So you can report on a whole website, but not on an individual page, unless you've got decryption. And you probably thought that you could already do that. So it's really important to be aware of this and to find out, are we decrypting, because you really need it. So we'll start with a couple of examples that you can see on the screen of how decryption can help you. First of all, if you look at the example here of Google, if you are not decrypting, you will only see the first bit of the website. The example here is Google. That counts for any website in the world. So without it, you will not see what's being searched. And it's really important to know what search terms are coming up in school that people might be Googling. The same applies for other websites. So if you look at this other example of the BBC, without decryption, you can see in your reporting somebody was on the BBC website, but not see that perhaps they are going on lots of news articles about self-harm, which might be something that you will want to give them assistance with. This is the sort of thing where we might stray into the territory of monitoring. And yes, we're talking about web filtering at the minute, but it's important that you have this ability, both, like I say, for your block or allow decision, that you see the whole page, but also for reporting. And that means looking at what users were going on. That with another example, looking at Google Sites, which is something that nearly every school will want either students or staff to look at for one reason or another, because there are hundreds of thousands of websites hosted on Google Sites. But there are also some enterprising young people who put lots of games onto Google Sites as a way to bypass filtering. If you are decrypting, you can stop this. You can block, for example, the thing you can see on the screen, which is sites.google.com/, and then after that, we've got some sites with unblocked games in them. They're normally fairly obvious. If you want to block that to stop people playing games which are on Google Sites and not on a classic game site, decryption will allow that. If you've not got decryption, you have to have the whole of Google Sites are allowed or the whole of Google Sites blocked. People come and ask us about that often. As soon as you've got decryption, it's going to be really helpful. So there are the couple of examples that could be handy for you. What do you want to take away? I would suggest you look at the infographic which is on the screen, and you can download this from safefiltering.lgfl.net. It's really key to make sure that you can keep children safe but not overblock. Remember, you're asked not to overblock in KC, and the standards talk about that in different language, but the same thing. To make your reporting really effective so you can see what your users are doing, and we just saw some examples of that. But actually it also gives increased protection from security threats and stops users trying to bypass filtering. There are new technologies coming out all the time to increase privacy, which of course is a good thing, being released by companies that run browsers or hosting for the internet, all sorts of technologies where we've been able, thanks to decryption, to maintain the way you are filtering in your schools, which is something you need to do. Without it, it can be very tricky. We've put together a myth buster as well, which you can see on screen at the moment. This might be useful if you have concerns, whether it's about privacy, and what can be seen and who can see it, whether it's about undermining security, like I say, actually decryption does the opposite, and whether you need it in general. There will be people who might have concerns, so we really recommend that you have a look at that. Hopefully that was helpful. If you've got any questions, do get in touch, and please make sure to look through the other videos on this page.